Let's get into the fight every couple thinks they are having. The trip, the house project, the credit card bill. The dinner where one person says, do we really need the extra appetizer? And the other person says, can't we just enjoy our life for 5 minutes? On the surface, it looks like a spending conversation, but most of the time, it's not. You see, when I sit with couples, I see the exact same pattern almost every single time. One spouse is the saver, and the other is the spender. And honestly, it's one of the most incredible patterns I see in what I do. Maybe that's why they say opposites attract. But there is no need to judge anyone here. This is not a character flaw. This is not the responsible spouse versus the irresponsible spouse. This is wiring. This is history. This is what money has meant to you long before you got married. One spouse looks at money and thinks safety. The other looks at money and thinks freedom. One says, should we really do this? The other says, we work hard. What is the point of living if we can't enjoy it? And the truth is, the saver is not automatically right and the spender is not automatically wrong. Most of the time, both people are reacting to a story. Maybe one spouse grew up around stress, scarcity, and uncertainty. Maybe the other grew up believing life is meant to be enjoyed, not constantly delayed. Then they get married. They build a life, they have kids, they make real money. And now they think they are arguing about the trip, the house, or the tax bill. They're not. They're both asking the same question, but in different ways. Are we okay? This is why money conversations get so emotional, because the number is not just a number. The number means something. To one spouse, spending money may feel like danger. To the other spouse, not spending money may feel like missing life. The exact same dollars, totally different meaning. And if you do not understand what money means to your spouse, you'll keep arguing about the wrong thing. You will think the issue is the vacation, but the real issue may be safety. You will think the issue is the renovation, but the real issue may be partnership. The funny thing is, this always reminds me of one of my favorite scenes from White Men Can't Jump. There's a great scene where Gloria, played by Rosie Perez, says she is thirsty. So Billy, Woody Harrelson, goes and does the logical thing. He gets her a glass of water. Makes sense, right? She said she was thirsty. He got water. Problem solved. Except it was not solved because she did not want him to just listen to the words. She wanted him to hear her and understand what she meant. And this is what happens with couples and money all the time. One spouse says, we should slow down. The other hears, you never let us enjoy anything. Maybe what they really mean is, I need to feel safe. One spouse says, let's enjoy this. The other hears, you do not care about the future. But maybe what they really mean is, I do not want our whole life to be delayed. Same words, again, totally different meaning. And this is probably why clients joke that I am part advisor, part marriage counselor. They come in stuck on a major decision, and one spouse sees it one way, the other sees it completely differently. Then we put the numbers on the table, walk through the trade-offs, and suddenly the room changes. Not because I'm taking sides, because the numbers give the conversation somewhere to land. And more than once, someone has laughed and said, I think you just saved us 3 sessions with a marriage counselor. That is why the spreadsheet alone cannot fix the conversation. But the spreadsheet still matters because you cannot build a plan on feelings alone. And you cannot build a marriage on numbers alone. You need both. You need the story and you need the data. That is where real financial planning starts. Not with judgment, not with blame, with clarity. Because the goal is not for one spouse to win. The goal is for both spouses to understand. What are they really trying to protect? What are they really trying to build? And what trade-offs are they willing to sacrifice to get there together? And when both people understand the story and the data, the conversation changes. That is how you start building one financial life. But here is where this gets even harder. It is one thing to have 2 different money stories. It is another thing when only one person actually knows the numbers. And that is where a lot of couples quietly drift from partnership into something more dangerous. One person becomes the manager and the other becomes the passenger.